What's going on, everybody? It's me again, good old golden blue dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. And yes, every now and again I decide to do a car video because you never know when an idea is going to hit you. When an idea hits me, I do a video. So I wanted to talk about who I thought were going to be the two biggest risers in the SEC and possibly the two biggest fallers in the SEC. First, we'll talk about the two biggest fallers. The first team, I think, is a no-brainer. I think LSU will be the biggest faller. Not because they're going to be horrible, but because of how great they were last year. And I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as great as they were. I still think they might be a top 20 team, but they lost a lot of talent. And with Jamar Chase not playing this year, that just put the nail in the coffin. So I think LSU will be the biggest faller. But that's not to say that they're going to be bad. Now, another faller that I think will happen is Georgia. And once again, this doesn't fall under they're going to be horrific. It's just that Jamie Newman screwed Georgia. He was a great transfer quarterback out of Wake Forest, but he decided to quit not too far before the season started. And I think that will cause some issues. I don't even know if JT Daniels has been cleared yet. I mean, even if so, the dude is coming off a pretty substantial injury. So, like I said, that doesn't mean that they're going to be terrible or horrible. I just don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. I actually have Florida picked to win the SEC East, and not necessarily because they're better than Georgia, but I do think that their schedule is much easier than Georgia's. That's still a wait and see thing, but that's my opinion. So, the biggest risers, one that's caught my eye is Kentucky. They have a very experienced offensive line coming back. They have great talent from last year. Their schedule is a little tough, but as far as, production, I think they'll be better than they were last year. It's just how will they manage that schedule. The schedule could be the big thorn in the heel of Kentucky that could slow them down. But if they can manage the schedule, then they could be a 7 or 8 win team in a pandemic year. So we're talking 2 or 3 losses at most in a 10-game win season, and that is much better than last year. The other biggest riser that not a lot of people were talking about could be Ole Miss. They have a first tough test against Florida. It is at home, but Ole Miss has a lot of talent, especially on offense, and with Lane Kiffin being an offensive genius, Ole Miss could upset Florida. I would actually take those 13 points that they're laying right now, and I wouldn't pick the upset, but I do think that's going to be a close game. The line opened up past 14. I think it opened up at 14.5, and now it's all the way down to Florida laying 13. So we'll see how that goes. Possible upset, but like I said, I have Florida picked to win the SEC East, so I'm pretty confident that Florida will win that game, but that game is still worth a bet because of the line. I think it'll be a close game. I think Ole Miss is going to be a tricky opponent for a lot of teams this year. Lane Kiffin, his style of coaching is pretty unique. I know he didn't have a lot of success at Tennessee, but he was getting in the groove whenever he bailed on Tennessee. People forget about that. Even though he didn't have a ton of success there, he was starting to have success, and then he bailed on Tennessee and went to USC. So Ole Miss fans need to be on alert just in case another team, a bigger team, gives him an offer. He will jump ship, and he will not give you a notice. It'll be an all-of-a-sudden thing. So it's kind of a catch-22 for Ole Miss. They could have great success with Lane Kiffin, but if they do, he could jump ship whenever a bigger school comes to calling, or they could fall flat on their face. So either way, it's a tricky situation for Ole Miss. So that's my take on who could be the biggest risers in the SEC and who could be the biggest fallers. I think Alabama will be, the best of the West. And I know that will be considered a big rise, but come on, this is Alabama standard. So that's why I didn't put them in the biggest risers. I just think they had a abnormally bad year last year, so that's why I didn't put them in the best risers. Alabama is Alabama. That's what they're supposed to do. But anyways, that's all I got for you on this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next video.